My name is Camila Dandara Leite, and I'm going to present you this work entitled Aspects of the Product Service System in Brazilian Literature. The product service system has been extensively investigated in recent years. But even though it has been extensively investigated, there is no consensus regarding the definition of it, and there is a great variety of concepts for the subject in the literature, which often differ in some respects, generating divergence of opinion among researchers. Thus, in defining PSS, some researchers may follow a more environmental or economic aspect. It's also known that success of the PSS depends on the culture, since this influences its acceptance. Therefore, it's interesting to help Brazilian consumers in understanding this type of approach by conducting a study restricted to Brazil. So, the objective of this work was to identify how Brazilian researchers of the product services system define this term. The definition of sustainable product services system proposed by the LeNS project is an offer model that provides an integrated mix of products and services that together are able to meet a particular customer demand based on innovative interactions between stakeholders, production of value, where the economic and competitive interests of suppliers continually seeks new solutions that are both environmentally and ethically beneficial partners. Tucker divides PSS into three groups named product-oriented, user-oriented, and result-oriented. From the first to the last, the value ceases to be in the product and becomes in the service. And there is still the presence of both. Among the main benefits of PSS are to allow a closer relationship with clients, create value for customers, impede imitation by competition, alternative to mass production, generating differentiation in supply, reduce environmental impacts through dematerialization, leads companies to take back and give the correct destination to their end-of-life products. As method, it was carried out a literature review on PSS. Then, the definitions used were collected and grouped from similarities. For the collection of articles of the PSS, articles from national sources were considered as of 2008, and the sources considered for this research were congresses, the Brazilian Congress of Product Development Management, and National Meeting of Production Engineering, as well as the digital collections of the respective institutions that organize these events, namely the Product Management and Development newspaper and the online library of Brazilian Association of Production Engineering. Also, it was considered scientific journals, the Produção Online, Gestão em Produção, Produção em Engenharia, Produção em Foco e Produção em Produto. These sources were chosen because it would be possible to find in them a relevant number of publications in the researched area. The accepted articles were read in order to identify the PSS concepts used by the authors. In order to generate criteria to define accepted concepts for this work, first, it was discarded the accepts that presented repetitions. They also went through filtering from the formats as written. The considered criterions of exclusion were to present only the advantages of the PSS, to be very generic, that is, to present characteristics that can refer not only to the PSS, to conceptualize something else, such as servitization, to be inserted in another, that is, a concept that is an identical repetition of parts of another concept. Then, for the grouping of the accepted concepts, a diagram of affinities were made. This tool has the objective of grouping a large number of ideas and information according to the affinity they present to each other. Finally, the groups were nominated according to the PSS aspects they presented. It was found 31 concepts considered as PSS definitions for this work. From the concepts of these groups, 6 are authorial from the papers found in the Brazilian literature. Only one concept is a citation from a national paper, and 24 concepts are a citation from foreign literature. The grouped concepts were called aspects of the PSS, which consisted of 6. Environment, where all the definitions that mentioned the benefit to the environment or to sustainability as a criterion were added. The group Innovation, where all the definitions that presented the PSS as an innovation strategy for the company were added. The group Integration or Combination, where all the definitions that emphasizes the integration between products and services were added. The group Use-Oriented or Manufacturer's Property, where all the definitions that focus on the non-transferring of product ownership from the company to the customer were added. The group Service-Oriented, where all the definitions that emphasize the service offering added to the product were added. And the last group, Value, where all the definitions that presented the PSS as an opportunity to generate value were added. It is noticed that the PSS can be approached from several points of view and has several aspects to be taken into account, which can be emphasized depending on the researcher or on the focus of the research. However, it is also noticed that there are a very small number of Brazilian researchers' definitions for this theme, and thus an even smaller number of national work citations. Through this literature review on PSS, it is concluded that this theme can be conceptualized following 6 different approaches. As mentioned, they are environment, integration, innovation, use-oriented, service-oriented, and value. In addition, some Brazilian researchers use different concepts which fall into more than one of the groups mentioned. It means that there is not a unique concept of this theme in Brazilian literature, and it may vary depending on the researcher or on the focus of each research. This study may contribute to the advancement of the product-service system as a research theme, once it helps its definition understanding in Brazilian literature. As future research, it is proposed to continue this work, carrying out a survey with Brazilian researchers to identify which of these groups of aspects they consider more important in defining the PSS. It is also proposed that Brazilian researchers develop studies using their perspectives and experience in the research sites to develop concepts for PSS that reflect the Brazilian reality and point of view. Thank you for your attention.